We are streaming live and gathering an audience.
Cool. So no one can hear us?
Well, no, they can hear us.
Okay.
They can hear us.
Cool.
By the way, you're welcome to, if you want to pull up your phone or something and share it somewhere, you should see it right now streaming on the Detailing Success page, and you're welcome to share that anywhere you want to if you're up for it.
Thank you. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Trying to bring it up now. Hang on. I'm a little slow.
Oh, you're good. There he is. Hey, Renny. You look extra pretty today.
Do I? Thank you so much. I got up to time to do my makeup and do my hair up today.
Where's the? I'm a little. Where's the thing I can share at, dude? You were saying where's that on the website?
Oh no! I was just saying, like, if you went to Facebook itself, you would find it.
Okay, we're good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, you'll just see it streaming on our page on Facebook, and you're welcome to share it from there.
Yeah, I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. I'm gonna give you a sip.
Gotcha. We're right here.
Okay. Oh, I see Rick Walling. I see Jason Bruno. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, everybody. Renny Doyle podcast. I'm here with Chris. Got a special guest we'll talk about here in a second. I'm going to take care of some biz first. Today's really cool because we're gonna have old buddy of mine. Met in 04. Paul's had a opportunity to have a front row seat of watching an entire industry. Really, the detailing industry wasn't new in 04, but it was stationary. It was just sitting there for years and years and years, decades, and not going many places. Not too many people had been able to figure out the key to break it open. And now, we've got a front row seat to seeing many people, doing really, really well in the industry. But before we introduce Paul, what we do? Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. I'm here.
Good. What's on the shirt today?
Oh, on the shirt today is, let me get things situated. This is a bug. He's it's at the beach.
Cowbug.
Cowbug.
There's
kind of hard
to
see. Let's see there.
Yeah.
There we go. That's better.
A really nice red and white one around the corner from us, literally 100 yards from us. And it is cool. And the guy shows it, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm taking off for Southern Utah here in about 3 hours.
Are you going to go do that today?
Yeah, I'm going to go do that today. I think Boomer and I'm going to take Boomer along. We're going to take the camper right there. Is all pretty much loaded. It's got to put some water in it. And we're going to take off. We'll either be home tomorrow night or Friday afternoon, one or the other. We don't know. So we're just going to take off, have a good time, go see my dad. We had a big
Boomer knows your dad. He won't try and take his fingers off or anything.
No, Boomer doesn't like too many people. You're one of the rare ones. He last night a dog charged at the other dogs, and he decided he wanted to kill them all. So he's almost 14 and he's crazy. It's awesome though. And so we had a really crazy weekend. We had a great group here, but not only do we have 8 really cool people here in Big Bear, we had nearly 70 students across the country for our one-day extreme at all our training centers. So is that cool?
Yeah, 7 training centers this past weekend. We had a training on Saturday with all of them, and on average, what's that? An average of 10 at each location, but some locations were higher than others. But a total of about 70 detailers went through training this weekend.
It's cool. Certification and just knowledge, and that's one of the things Paul and I've seen a big difference in our time together as friends is and he's gone into a whole nother format. We'll get into that in a second, but this next weekend I get to go on Saturday. It's a one-day trip. I get to leave Big Bear at 3 a.m. and I'll be back about 9 or 10 p.m. that night. But it's a one-day trip up to Stephen Chin's East Bay. He's the supplier, one of the longest. He goes back. His family, his mom and dad, started distributing P&S product way back in.
Products, problems, same thing.
Exactly. They started to take and distribute. You ever see something and I put up a note up here and it said look at heater problem, and I read problem. God, ADD kicking in. Jesus, see something, you read it. I'm glad I didn't read the other note Diane left for me because that would have been embarrassing. But it's Stephen and his family. His parents go way back with P&S, and so we're going to go up there. They're just opened up a new store right next door to the factory, so it's really cool. So we'll be up there this week.
It's attached. It's kind of a factory store, but with a not quite connected that way.
Right. Yeah, but a long time distributor, one of the longest in P&S history. So it'd be pretty cool. And then we've got a busy month this month. Is that we've got 2 5-day trainings. We had to add a little bit in there because we're booked up until July, and so we wanted to. A lot of people wanted to get in before summer started, so we doubled up and added some more into it. We got a busy time. It's cool. It's cool to see people moving forward. So with that is why don't you do a little introduction, and then I'll do a personal introduction. Chris, how's
all
that?
right. Well, this guy down here at the center of your screen is Paul. And Paul, am I going to butcher your last name? Is it Apollonia?
Very good. No, you did not butcher it. Congratulations, dude.
All right. Well, there you go. Paul, like Renny said, Paul's been around the detailing industry for quite a while. But currently his main focus is actually on being an eBay seller. So he's been involved with eBay since about 2001, and he's kind of turned that into a education opportunity where he specializes in working with businesses to turn excess inventory into cash using eBay. And he's also a trained, related to that, he's a trained education specialist, and he's had that title since 2009?
Yes.
So, and he teaches eBay selling techniques in not only the classroom, but in small group settings and even in one-on-one settings. So that's kind of what Paul's expertise is these days. But he has a detailing background that I don't know much about, so I'm excited to learn how that all fits in too.
Well, we're going to get into this. Now it's my turn to brag about him. And so we go back. I went to my first trip, and Paul and I were talking about this at Mobile Tech this year of when it was. And so Paul and I, my first Mobile Hut Tech show was in 2004. And that's when him and I met. And our group of friends, so Paul and I struck up a friendship, natural. This is before Facebook, we didn't have social media. We had some old time, Morse code level. I mean, it really Morse code level, groups on in forums and stuff back then. But it wasn't near as sophisticated as it is now. And so Paul and I kept in contact. Later in 2006, Paul and I are back there, but we didn't know we were going to meet additional friends from all over the country that we all had one thing in common, was detailing. And it really, I always say that group of people, we really started taking, and it grew. Other manufacturers reps, came into it. Just detailers from all over the country, all over the world. And Paul was part of that initial, movement. So it's pretty cool to have him on and to see that he kind of went a different direction, but he's kept his fingers on the pulse of detailing this entire time, so much so that he goes to events still and so forth and plays around. So we'll let him kind of explain, where he was back then and what is detailing kind of is today, just the Reader's Digest version, because we're going to jump into, I've got a lot of questions for him on liquidating assets, not only liquidating, but finding stuff. I've been an eBay shopper. Just recently in the last year made what I call a significant purchase on eBay, but I even bought a car. So matter of fact, if you look back in that far off block, you can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it right now.
We found the Chevelle on eBay. Our oldest daughter did. And we didn't end up buying it through eBay because of a long story I'm going to go into now, but it was located on eBay. And so something else in the shop that's important to me was also located on eBay. So I'm really interested in finding out more and asking some questions. But in the meantime, Paul, go back, explain yourself. You introduce yourself now, and then where you were back when we met and kind of where your detailing is. And then we're going to roll into where you're at today.
Okay, cool. Hey, I'm Paul Apollonia. I'm out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Thank you so much, Renny, man. This means the world to me, dude, man. You're the best. And you too, Chris. You're not bad, Okay, a real quick recap on where I came from or was. I started detailing way back in 98. I was working in an IT job, had 22 years experience, IT work. So I was making some freaking decent money, to be honest with you. So I'll be honest with you, I'm an open book. I left that job with not a whole lot of savings in the bank, which is mistake number one. And I did that part-time while I was working, and then I took it full-time in 98. So I left my job in June of 98. My wife totally supported me. I've got the super supportive wife. She's just incredible. And
Paul,
I did it.
Real quick, we have something in common. I got my start in detailing in 98 also.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
The difference was I didn't have a career already. I was in college, but yeah, that's where I started detailing cars for somebody in Salt Lake City.
Well, here's the other ironic thing. I actually launched Attention to Details in 98.
You serious, dude?
Yeah, I sold my.
But wait.
I had sold my original company back in the 80s and got out of it, and then we formally formed ATD in 98.
Wow. But did you run your business out of a Ford Escort for a while? No, I don't think so.
I ran my business out of a Ford Bronco at first. Yeah, so not.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Never mind. I'll take the Bronco. Yeah,
that's like, yeah, it was interesting, unloading everything. But so I did it part-time, was doing really well part-time. I hooked up with a body shop down the street, and I was going there after work. Actually, I was doing really, really, really well when I was doing it part-time. So I took it full-time, and I was doing good. Still in the Ford Escort for a month or two. Got a van, got more clients. So I'll be honest with you. And again, I'm an open book. When I started being self-employed, I just thought, people will come to me. No, they don't. Last time I checked, and that was mistake number one. It's really hard being self-employed compared to getting that check every 2 weeks and really not doing too much and still getting paid sometimes. But got the business going, got it rolling. I got a van, got another van after that. Just went through a series of vans. All my work was mobile. I had a pretty good clientele at some office buildings, a lot of lawyers' offices and everything I hooked up with. Big thing is networking. I know Renny pushes that big time. I joined as many networking groups as I could and was trying to get into higher end detailing. But, a lot of times I was just doing what I could to get by, to be honest with you. A lot of the times I wasn't in a real good place, and Renny knows that, and Jim Gogan knows that, and I drove you guys crazy with just not being in a good place in my head. It was hard. I don't think I was ready to be self-employed, to be honest with you. So I took the business, ran it until about 2008, and then 2008 just clobbered me. Just the economy it just killed me, to be honest. I lost a lot of clients. There were a lot of guys coming in doing low grade work, and I just lost a lot of clients. So I finally shut the business down in 2010. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. It was kind of weird. It was dying, but like a caveman thing. You take it, drag it home. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. And I finally shut it down. And in the meantime, before that, I was doing eBay on the side. And a friend of mine was going, "You need to do eBay more. You need to do eBay more." So that's how I got started doing that. I started doing consignment for him, which I do a lot of consignment for people now. People downsizing, helping businesses out, like Renny said, like Chris said, liquidating their old assets and stuff. So I put the detailing aside, but I had some hardcore customers that loved me, and I still have these customers today. And I tried to scare them away with raising my prices to ridiculous rates. And they keep on coming back. One of my favorite customers is a gentleman that lives down in a private community. He doesn't really take great care of his cars. He has a Lamborghini and other high-end cars. He calls me out every couple of months to wash them, and they're really bad. And I said to him I was shutting down the business, and he goes, "Okay, that's great. So when can you do my cars next?" And I said, "Well, I'm stopping." He goes, "What will it take you to come out here and do my cars?" I'm going, So I just keep on raising my prices with him, and he just keeps on calling me back. So I have him and a few other people that I do, but I don't really advertise the detailing anymore. So, but then I got into eBay, took that full steam ahead, because I really got the self-employment thing figured out by then. It took me a couple of years, but I really got it figured out. I love the freedom that it offers me, to be honest with you. So I'm not stuck to a 9-to-5 job. So I took to eBay. I got trained. I went to some training programs eBay was offering. Got into doing consignment for people. I love doing consignment. I still do that today. I do a lot of parting out of appliances I get for free on Craigslist. I'll talk about all this in a little bit on how you guys can do some of this stuff. And I do a lot of training. I love training people. I used to love training people in person, but that's been taken away with this COVID thing and everything. So I do a lot of training.
Okay, we got a war going on. COVID's going to disappear real quick now.
Yeah, well, it's almost gone here. It's we don't have any mask anything going on right now, so yay. And I do and I also run the Raleigh eBay meetup group. We meet once a month, second Thursday of the month at 3:00. So that's basically me in a nutshell, I think.
That's cool. So I think Chris said it best, and we've got it going on here. I think every technician, doesn't matter from what industry you're in, is that you buy stuff that you later either you don't prefer it, it's not working for you, it's something new came out that you like a little better. We've all got access, especially let's talk about in the detailing industry, maybe the window tint, maybe PPF. We've got products. Are we, in my mind, I've always wondered, you've got a partial bottle. Does that stuff sell?
I don't know about a partial bottle, but if you had like full bottles of stuff, yes.
What if
Go
here's what I was asked leading up to this with you. I talked to a couple of people. For instance, we test products out, and when I say a partial bottle, it's 80, 90%. What if you bundle?
Okay.
Wonder if you had, 10 partial bottles like that. Is there value to that? And would people buy?
There probably is. And if you would state in the listing that, you were testing these, these products, you don't have to give your name or anything, but say, you were testing these for the manufacturer and these are just what's remaining and they're still fresh and they haven't been frozen or whatever, whatever makes the lifespan long. I don't see why not just label, just say used products.
Right.
That would work.
We've got, because, I think everybody's got, probably cabinets full of, or at least shelf full of stuff that they just don't use much anymore.
Right.
For reasons. So, it's always sitting, it's there. And then on the side, so equipment, same question to you is, let's take, you have a polisher and let's say that, something new comes out, or you're just getting to the age to where you're a professional and you want something that's, not going to go down on you. If the tool still works, is there a market for it?
Yes, there is.
Really?
There's even a market for those. Remember those, gosh, I just forgot the name of it. The big polisher with the two handles on it.
Yeah. Gem polisher. Wow.
Yeah. I had one of those. Those will work out.
Matter of fact, I just saw a video. One of our Team Double Black members just showed a video of somebody doing something stupid with a gem polisher in modern days, and I was like, "Oh man, you got to be kidding me!" We just went back to 1968.
It was a workout, man.
Crazy. So, what do you see? You've been around detailing, and so what do you see as an opportunity for detailers with stuff that they've got on their own? That's there. What habits do you see that could turn into a little side money?
Well, I've seen just when I was at Mobile Tech, a lot of guys with the flex polishers, now that they went to the battery operated ones, have the corded ones, and they're looking to unload those on a platform, and they're I know somebody that has a whole bunch of them. He pulled me aside and he goes, "I've got at least 4 or 5 of these that I'm using the battery operated ones now, so I really don't have a need for the corded ones like I did before, and I'd like to sell a few." So I think as we go more into the battery operated equipment, you can still sell that corded equipment because people are just starting out. There's some people that just like corded equipment compared to battery operated equipment and stuff like that.
So now the next big question going into is that, a lot of people will start out mobile, every one of us did, right? That's on the call right now. And I think it's the most popular way to start out in the industry. So mobile systems, I see a lot I cruise Craigslist every once in a while, and it kind of shocks me that people wouldn't kind of put it on, and maybe they are, but I don't see near as many used systems on eBay as I do on Craigslist. And I think eBay is a much better platform for that than Craigslist. So what's your feelings on that? And is there different? And am I wrong in thinking I think it's safer on eBay, and I think eBay spooks people, but I've been somebody that's made a lot of purchases on eBay. I think there's a defense there too. I think that you're not going to get scammed as easy. So those things.
Well, there's two. Obviously, I think eBay is better because that's what I sell on. But there's 2 layers of security with eBay. There's eBay security coming in for your payments and cash going out. And then there's also what used to be PayPal, but they don't use PayPal anymore. They're using just credit card. It's similar to like Apple Pay. You can use your credit card. You can use Google Pay, Apple Pay with eBay now. But there's 2 levels of security. Craigslist, there's no level of security with anything. Like somebody could Venmo you money, and I hear these horror stories of somebody Venmos you the money, and then they somehow pull it back out again or something. So there's a lot of scams doing it like that, doing Craigslist. I personally would do eBay and even suck up the fees that they charge. It's like it all depends what you're selling and what category you're selling in, but between like 12 and 14%. And then, you can do local pickup. You can meet somebody somewhere. They can come to your shop and pick it up. You could probably ship it using a freight, I guess, if it's a big item like that. But eBay's got a lot more security, and you got a lot more users. You got worldwide access with eBay.
Yeah, gotcha. So now going into that, so how do you keep from getting burned? So you list all the time. Somebody's listening right now. I've probably got, not really in the shop, but in our storage, there's probably 25 things that I could take and get rid of right now, and clear up some space, but B, get a return on that. The product or the equipment, still got plenty of life in it.
Right.
It's not something. So how do you keep, as a person that hasn't listed on eBay, how do you keep from getting burned?
Well, that's a good question. I would say look at their feedback, but right now eBay has moved into where you could go onto eBay. eBay and Google Shopping are working together. They've been working together for about the last year. So that's why when you're in Google searching for things, you'll see eBay listings, because now they're friends. So you can go into eBay and sign on as a guest, which means you're a guest. You have no feedbacks. So back in the day, you would look at someone's feedbacks and go, well, they only have 2 or 3 feedbacks. Some people believe I should stay away from those people. I just sell to anybody. You can look at their feedbacks. You can look at how long they've been on eBay. But again, like I said, if they're coming in as a guest and it's their first purchase, like I sold something a couple months ago, a $250 item to a gentleman in Taiwan that had no feedbacks, and he was a guest. And it was a good sale. He left me great feedback, and he was happy with the purchase he got. That's really kind of a tough question to answer today because it's changed so much. Gotcha. But it used to be you look at their feedbacks and stuff like that.
So, okay, so now let's talk about listing something. Is that you talked about buying something, you can be a guest. Is the same thing true with listing something, or do you have to actually?
No. So you have to have a user ID, and you have to have it all set up with your credit card or your bank account information. Gotcha. And then you can list things. Yep.
So go through the kind of run up on that. Is it very difficult? Does it take much time to do it?
No, it doesn't. A lot of people now, 80% of eBay listings and sales are done on their phones. So it's huge you can use the eBay app both for Android and iPhone. It actually works better for the iPhone. You can almost run your whole business via your iPhone compared to the Android, because it was the first platform they worked on. So they really got that all figured out. Probably as a new user or a new seller, probably would take you maybe 15, 20 minutes to create your first listing. And then once you get the handle of it, there's all tips and tricks. And I'm going to discount my training for you guys. If anybody needs any help with anything, just, let me know. And then there's also, you need to have good photos. You can use your phone. You don't need to go buy a camera anymore. You use your phone along with the eBay app, and you just merge them. You take your pictures, create your listing, and then import your pictures into your listing. So it's much easier that way now. It's gotten so much easier compared to what it was before. And again, you have security. You have millions and millions of people out there looking at your items all the time, eBay and Google. So you got a huge audience out there.
Well, it's funny because the last thing I purchased was about a year ago. And going back nostalgic-wise is that I started my first detailing business with a Mongoose BMX bike. And I bought the bike in 1979, I saved up and I bought part of it. Give credit to my mom and my grandmas. They chipped in. I really wanted this bike. I think it was 79. And so it was actually 78, Christmas of 78, going to 79. So 79, the Mongoose was a pretty legendary BMX bike. Well, I bought a Mongoose. Mine got stolen. And the sentimental value of having it here in the shop, because that bike towed a little cart behind it, a wagon type thing. And that's how I started my detailing business. And so I want to tell you, I hadn't bought anything on eBay in a bit. It had been a few years, and it was seamless. It was really easy. I felt secure. The shipping went out. So now let's talk about technician based. Let's talk about how you've kind of built a business up around this. You've got, your detailing came out of that. You're training this, but you're an active seller on eBay. So what are you going out and I think this is going to blow me away. What are you going out and looking for? What sells?
Well, funny you should mention that. The mongoose, believe it or not, those old mongooses, if you can grab those somewhere, even if they're rusted, even if the parts are rusted, go on eBay and search mongoose bike parts sometime and see what this stuff is going for. Hundreds of dollars for the headset. I mean, it's handlebars. People give me this stuff sometimes. What do I go after? I go after, and this is what you guys can do. Like you talked about, I guess, many podcasts ago about getting a part-time job. And that's what I'm here for. I'm telling you, you don't need that part-time job. You can be selling on eBay. You can be home with your family. Maybe you go out on a Saturday and do some thrifting or go get your items or whatever. There's so many avenues you can go down with eBay. But what I get is I get a lot of consignment items where somebody, unfortunately, a spouse dies and somebody calls me and says, hey, I know somebody, they're a little overwhelmed, and I do a lot of consignment. Consignment is not for everybody. You got to sometimes be a therapist when you go into their houses because, they're dealing with stuff that somebody died, somebody left them. They're dealing with their parents' home, and there's huge attachment issues with items. Other avenues I go is I scan Craigslist. I created Craigslist email alerts for anything appliances. I do very well selling refrigerator shelves. I had to replace the refrigerator freezer in my garage, and before I hauled the old one out, I pulled all the shelves out, and I made $245, and I paid $200 for the for the used refrigerator. Now I didn't make that $245 in 2 days. It took me about 6 months to make that, but it paid for the refrigerator is what my point is. So I love doing parting out of things.
Gotcha. Well, here, before we move on, if you come across anything mongoose, I want to know.
Okay.
Because I'm
seriously
piecing. Yeah, I've got mag wheels, mongoose mag wheels. Man, I'm looking for a pair of originals, 70s mag mongooses because that's what I had on there, and I don't care what shape they're in because I'll paint them root beer brown, which was the factory color I had. And then I've got anodized one. I've got the anodized when I really tricked my bike out. I got rid of all that heavy stuff.
Yeah.
When I was park riding and but I've been on a holding pattern because I bought this thing during COVID and I can't get my wheels I want. It's just sitting there. And so first off, before we go into that, so what could okay, so what are you looking for? It blows me up right now to go get a refrigerator. New refrigerators, washers and dryers. A, it's hard to get a hold of, and then B, there's a waiting list, and then C, really expensive. So when you're looking for items, are you looking for top-notch, real high-quality stuff, or what are you looking for?
Well, like for dishwashers, I'm looking for Bosch. I'm looking for name brand stuff, and I kind of have a feel for what like some of not every Bosch dishwasher did well. There were some models that did poorly, which I learned from getting them for free and not doing my research really good and finding out that the parts aren't worth anything. Bosch's, Kenmore's, Whirlpool's, any top name dishwasher does well. I sell the racks, and I've got videos out there on my channel, on my YouTube channel, on how to wrap the racks and ship them and everything. I sell the control boards. A good control board will go for probably about $85, and it takes all of probably about 15, 20 minutes to remove, if that, once you know what you're doing. Refrigerators do good. Parts on refrigerators, so the shelving, like I said, the drawers and all the other stuff. You can even sell things that aren't working. I'm a ham radio operator. I'm not real active, but I go to these things called Ham Fest, which are basically big flea markets with all these old guys selling old radios. And I pick up stuff that's not working, and I sell it for parts not working. And I got 4 Cobra CBs last time I was at one. And the guy laughed at me and goes, what are you going to do for those? For $5 for the whole box? I went, yeah, thank you. Because I don't wear any eBay garb or anything. I go into there totally undercover. And I took them and I sold each one for $65 a piece within 3 weeks.
Unreal.
Not even working. So
you do have to have some room to store stuff, right?
Yeah, yes, you do.
Yeah, you got to have some.
Yeah, don't talk to my wife about that. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And so now let's go into this is that what about, so I've gone on eBay sometimes, and what do you look for if you're going to purchase things? How Can you get burned on eBay? And how do you keep from getting burned when you're buying, not selling?
Well, first thing, let me say, there's an old saying called "the riches are in the niches" in the online selling community. That means you know a lot of stuff. You have hobbies. You have, the detailing industry you're in. Really, you want to really be selling at first stuff you really, really know. Like me with the ham radio stuff, me with the dishwasher and appliance stuff. It's over time I've learned that stuff. You don't really want to go out and try and create another niche for yourself. So sit down and think about, hey, what are my hobbies? What do I know? If I have a job, what is my, am I into computers? Can I sell computer parts? Now, as far as buying on eBay, you have to look at the feedbacks. Now, if you see a few bad feedbacks, like everything, we all go into a big box store and say, I'll never go back. But then we kind of go back after a while because we need something. So don't judge every bad feedback that, some people are crazy out there, and they just like leaving bad feedbacks or bad reviews. You've seen it, Renny.
Oh yeah. I see it. I call it, character or brand assassination. These guys go out like snipers, start. For me to leave a bad review on something, it takes extraordinary bad service. But for me to badmouth a product, it's never happened. You'll never go in. You'll never find me bad mouthing especially in our industry. I just don't go there because somebody worked real hard for that product and they love it. And just because I don't, I don't leave. I see these people. You know what I think when I see somebody mouthing off about things is you don't even know it, but you've already failed in business. Mm-hmm. Because your personality, if you're so open to be able to do that, is 80% of the population is not going to like you. They're not going to like doing business with you. And It might take some time to show that off to people, but it's going to happen. So That's cool. So I took some notes and I want to go over these real quick. Is that not ready for a full-time entrepreneur? You said that. You said back in '98, you weren't quite ready for it. And I kind of wanted to hit these things and then get both of your guys' input. So I tell people one of the things you just did that I put down when I was talking, you got to, and everybody thinks they know how to hunt. Listen, is that my brother? I'm not a hunter. It's not I'm against hunting. I just don't hunt. My brother is a world-class hunter. He's been an outfitter and everything else. That guy can go out and get into the elk or get into the deer in nanoseconds. Now, I've gone out and tracked for him. I'm a good tracker. But you've got to learn as an entrepreneur. There's hunting skills that you need. It's not going to be Field of Dreams. And if you guys are young and don't know the movie Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. And all the old ghosts of yesterday, they ain't going to come, man. You're not going to build it, So you got to learn to hunt. You've got to learn to self-motivate. There's days I fight extreme laziness, and yesterday was a real productive day personally and business-wise for most people. Probably yesterday, I probably outperformed 90% of the people not listening because our listeners are badass. But 90% of those people that call themselves entrepreneurs, I had a lazy day and I probably outperformed them because my demands on myself are pretty high. So you've got to learn to self-motivate. You can't go into this with any debt, man. If you're going into debt, you got to keep a side gig. Make your business a side gig. Get a regular paying job until you can get that debt gone, and then I want your guys' input on all this. And then know your stuff. You've got to be, we're in an age to where, we had to earn while we had to learn while we earned back in the day of detailing. I won't say it's impossible these days because anything's possible. And if you're an extreme person with extreme talent and extreme people skills and extreme ability and extreme self motivation, you can do it, but that's rare. In today's world, detailing's complicated. Detailing's not what it used to be. Detailing, there's too many people that know what they're doing. Competitions, there's too many good people out there. I never thought I'd say that because there used to be a lot of terrible people in our industry. Not terrible people, just not skilled people. Right. And so you got to know your numbers and make 100% positive you are profitable in every service that you do. Is a lot of people offer all these, it's like a restaurant. You go into a restaurant, they got this menu that's 10 pages long. And I'm like, oh my God, how much of this stuff are they not making a dime on? It's too complicated. Is that people do that. And so then lastly, so can I get your input on that? And then I'm going to go back over. I got one last question for Paul in regards to that. You guys got any input on those things I just kind of talked about?
Well, hey, I can relate to Paul being a little too early, I guess, to the entrepreneur thing. Wasn't quite ready back in '98. I kind of feel like I went through the same journey a little bit. I do tend to feel like, if I were to really dive back into it again the second time around, I would do a lot better. Just from what I've learned, even just the past few years working alongside this guy,
Right.
That's definitely helped. So I've been exposed to a lot of different things, but I think, even Paul, right. He started out detailing, but now he's still an entrepreneur on the eBay side. He figured it out. He learned some things. He just happened to apply it to a different industry this second time around,
Absolutely. So it's Paul, when you mentioned those things, it really resonated with me, on those things of not being ready, because
Right.
I'll be honest, my first entrepreneur journey, I was lucky. I was lucky. And the reason why I was lucky is I had personality, and that was it. I didn't have skill. I wasn't an entrepreneur. I called myself an entrepreneur. I wasn't. I was an apprenticed entrepreneur. There's a big difference.
Back then, I think he had hair too. That might have helped.
I had hair. I was a hot dude. And it's, and thank God he attracted Diane back then. But no, I was that first, that was way before Diane. Back in the early days, I did. I hate to say it. It could have gone really bad looking back. I mean, and a lot of people say, well, and there's people doing it. There's young people right now doing the same thing I did. I just wish I would have known, just use it as a side hustle for a little longer and get a little more money put away, and then get a little more knowledge in your head. Doesn't take long, just a year or two, just doesn't take long. Even when we launched in '98, I kept a part-time gig in the wintertime,
Yep. I remember that.
Seasons, for 3 seasons. And so I think that's interesting. Now, consignment, let's say for a second that, let's say Chris and I go through the shop in the next couple of months, and we've got all kinds of goodies that we just don't have time. For anybody listening, would you be interested in talking to them about putting some of their stuff on consignment? Paul, did you hear me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Of course I would. I'm worried. I had I do have long distance people. They ship me things, and I do it that way. My percentage is 50-50 split to the first 100, and then it goes down from there 40%, and it keeps on going down. But most items go for anywhere from not much to up to about 100. But yes, I've done that. In fact, I've got a guy that's going to ship me some of those buffers we talked about earlier that I'm going to be doing for him. Yes, most definitely. I love doing consignment. Yeah,
that's cool. All right. So with that, man, wow, what a.
I have a good question real quick on the taxes side of
things.
Ooh.
Bill sent that.
Bill Quinn asked about taxes. So, I'm sure there's a right and a wrong way to handle that. Paul, can you dive into that a little bit?
Okay. I'm not an accountant. I don't, but I do play one on TV. No, it's just,
What's that hard, man?
Yeah, that's it. eBay collects sales taxes. eBay handles your sales tax for you for each state, but there may be other taxes you may have to pay, like if you're buying items at a thrift store and stuff like that. So talk to your accountant about that part of the taxes. But as far as sales tax, eBay handles all that.
That's cool. That's good to know.
That's something new they're doing. They've been doing it for the last year and a half, I think. So Yeah, everybody's trying to get away without paying taxes. I don't do cartwheels when I got to pay taxes. I hate it. Sometimes I owe a lot of money. Sometimes I don't. But just pay your taxes.
I like nice roads. I like nice roads because I don't like roads that here in California they don't use.
But just pay your taxes.
Right. Absolutely. So hey, Paul, I want to thank you for taking and being a part of this. This is really cool. So before we sign off, is that follow us at Detailing Success on Instagram and Facebook. Renny Doyle on Instagram. I'm Tapped Out Friendswise on Facebook. And then follow Paul. Paul, how do they get a hold of you?
You can just if you want, you can email me at Paul period and my last name APOLLONIA @gmail.com. I'm on YouTube under my name Paul Apollonia, and that's on YouTube. I also have a teachable site that I can send you links to if you guys like. That I have a teachable course on how to part out a dishwasher. It's very affordable. It goes step by step, shows you what parts to part out, which parts not to take. And I also have the big meetup group if you guys want to join that. And all my rates are discounted for you guys. Just tell me you heard me on this podcast, and I will give you guys a discount. Man, I mean, you guys have been so great to me over the years. And Renny, thanks so much for everything you've done for me. I know I keep on saying that over and over and over again, and you guys are tired of hearing it. But man, you mean the world to me, and so does everybody else, and even you, Chris.
Yeah, wait till you have to work with him every day.
No,
come on. I did put up your website, Paul, so everybody could see it.
Okay. It needs help, but okay.
Hey, it's still a good resource and a good way for people to be able to reach you and contact you.
Okay.
Well, everybody listening, I think, Paul's been an inspiration because he's just figured it out how to keep on doing his own thing. And I really love the fact, and I want to give tribute to Paul right now. Every time I'm around Paul is so appreciative, and he's always paying respect to people around him. He's always giving thanks. He's always, even when he doesn't need to, he does. And I think that's such a class act, especially if I bring cigars. If I bring cigars, then he really sucks up, We've had some great times to smoke the cigar. Here, hey, Paul, here's the deal. This Mobile Tech with two of the older guys there, all those wussies went to bed. Paul and I are out there, 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. In the rain.
yeah, in the rain. It's colder than hell in Florida. Believe it or not, it does get cold down there. And we're out there. We just had a ball. We sit out there until 1:32 in the morning.
It's great.
Just having a ball, just catching up and stuff. And it's just goes to show you some of your best friends can come from industry. It's just pretty amazing. So. Hey, make sure to follow him. Chris, you want to give your information out too? How do they follow you?
Oh, me? Well, let's see. Instagram, it's Chris Woolman _detailer. And, but, other than that, just they should be following Detailing Success, and then they'll find us that way.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep, that's right. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram too. Same name, all squished together. Paul Apollonia, Instagram and Facebook too.
Hey, my takeaways on this is, hey, stay innovative, stay creative. And if at all possible, make your own gig, man. I mean, take the time doing it, but I don't care what it's in, but go out and create a business, create a life. It's not very, it's back when we met 20 some years ago, we never figured that, I didn't know if I'd live this long, honestly, it's Chris is driven with me. I can't wait to take him flying. That's going to be real fun. So he's shaking his head. Yeah, you are. So, hey, Paul, thanks a lot. Everybody, if you've please share this if you liked it, leave a comment. Also, if you have any topics or somebody that you think should be on the program, send us an email. Let us know. Probably the best one is going to be Chris@detailingsuccess.com. If you got a personal comment to me, it's Renny@detailingsuccess.com. Other than that, hey, I'm going on to the Justin Lobato podcast right after this here in about 20 minutes, less than that, about 15 minutes. We're going to be over on that podcast. So come over and check that one out. So take care. Happy detailing, Paul. Once again, thanks, buddy. It's always good seeing you.
You too. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, buddy.
I'll see you. We'll see you.